Back in the days, so 2018, we're going to build a commercial company that's going to have $500 million worth of asset under management. It was my goal in 2018 to build a company that's going to have $500 million. Never realized we're going to get there in 3 years, right? So to build a $500 million company, you need a C-level team that owned $1 billion to $2 billion worth of portfolio before. When I started, hey, I want to build a company, and we're looking for the partners, I tend to define everything. Like I always have a definition to give me clarity, right? You know, sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right, but once you start with something, it usually gets you clarity, then you make iterations of it, right? So I didn't know anything. We said, look, we're going to build a company, because figuring out is tough, but as you come back and redo it, it's easier, right? So I go to the conferences, I wrote it down. If someone comes from the corporate, you got to own at least $1 billion P&L. And if you come from residential, you got to have at least 50 houses. And if you come from multifamily, you got to have at least $200 million worth of assets for a decade. Back in the days, so 2018, we're going to build a commercial company that's going to have $500 million worth of asset under management. It was my goal in 2018 to build a company that's going to have $500 million. Never realized we're going to get there in 3 years, right? So to build a $500 million company, you need a C-level team that owned $1 billion to $2 billion worth of portfolio before. So you've been there, you're mature, you know how to play, you can help us to get there, right? Now imagine you go to the conferences and you ask the question, hey, I want a partner. They say yes, then you whip out a piece of paper and say, have you ran $1 billion portfolio? Do you have 50 houses? Did you flip 6 or 7 properties? Just imagine the feedback, right? But then I was introduced to Sanjay, introduced to Mike, and we all come from the corporate background. You know, Sanjay, one of the coolest things is he used to report to a CEO of a company, let him speak whenever he comes back. And then I used to report to a CFO of Shell. Mike used to go country by country and develop teams, as you kind of go through a version of Michael, right? So we all have seen a version of how to build community, how to take risks, how to put the deal team together and kind of go. And Phil and Shanoa, you already know some of them. They're one of the best educators, and they built numerous companies. So when we came together, it was just made sense for us to grow the company as we go. Our first full-time employee was a legal counsel. We went the whole thing backwards. We said, we're going to grow big. We're going to do a lot of equity raising. We have a lot of rules that we have to follow. Let's keep in line. So a lot of people laughed. They thought, you know, it was like weird, but he has been with us, Jonathan has been with us since we started.
I would love to share with you everything that I have learned with my mentor, because I know it's going to transform your life the same way that I have transformed my life as well. So I will see you on the next event.